Extension Field Agronomist Aaron Saeugling here in Southwest Iowa. So now we're looking at the corn, and what are we looking for here, Aaron?
Yeah, we're looking at a couple different things with corn. Obviously, corn, the growing point is below the ground until that corn gets to a vegetative stage. We'll say V5 to V6. And so that's really what we want to look at. So the first thing we want to do is we want to accurately stage the crop. We can't go by planting date. We can't necessarily go by genetics. We want to go by the vegetative stage. So I'm holding a plant here that's a little beat up from the hail, but we want to find that first leaf. And so when we pull that apart, it makes a collar with the stem of the plant, or the stalk, we'll call it. So that's a V1. Here's another collar is 2. Here's 3. This is 4. And if I unfurl this one, so this corn is V4.5 to, maybe 5. So that tells us that the growing point is still below the ground. And so what we can do to double check ourselves is take a knife and cut this plant in half. Here's a sister plant to that. And we want to look for the actual growing point. So the growing point on this corn plant, a similar stage was right next to it, is actually at the surface or just below the surface. And so things we want to be concerned about a little bit with that is, as you can see, Tom, we have a plant right here. We have all this dead tissue. The growing point is below this dead tissue. So this is going to have to push through all this dead tissue as it dies for this corn plant to essentially survive. There's a plant right here where you can see where it was all haled off or sheared off. Actually, this plant may recover faster than this plant with this dead tissue. So it's going to take us probably 48 hours to 72 hours to kind of determine where we're at with corn. Corn stand, it's going to be really hard to want to replant corn. We're talking mid-June. So for us, that's really hard. Various traits that go into the hybrids that we have today are going to help determine. So thickening up a stand is always maybe not the best thing. So you really have to spend some time here in the next 2 to 3 days assessing your stand to decide if you want to replant or not. And so there's several charts that you can get from Extension through Extension to find those. Your seed folks also have charts in terms of replant, in terms of what stands you would want to keep.
As you tour again around the area, what are you seeing as far as damage? Where's the most damage at?
The most damage I've seen to date, I haven't had a chance to cover the whole county. It appears to be in kind of that Marnie area, and then kind of between Wyoda and Norway Center. There's a pretty good patch down in there. Looks like they've had a severe amount of hail. For those of you that are looking, if you had a lot of white hail, those are areas that I would concentrate on first. That's really what I'm seeing, is where the hail was bad. That seems like we have more crop damage.